Hello, my name is Navigator, and in today's video, we're going to be discussing something that I have honestly been wanting to talk about for going on a couple years now, and that is going to be my grievances, along with some grievances of the community, with the Fallout 76 Atomic Shop. Now, you guys know my opinions on this. I tend to make them very often when discussing the Atomic Shop, and when I saw what we had in store today, I figured today was the day that we should make this video. And I want to say last week, I put out a community post asking what your guys' opinions on this would be, and that I was going to make a video like this in the future, and I think now is the time to do that. So let me show you why I'm making this video and kind of give you a baseline on my opinion and my kind of view on how the Atomic Shop should be. And in saying that, I want to point out that these are my opinions, and I'm lucky to live in a country where I can say whatever the hell I want. So, if you do have a disagreement with it, that's fine, I respect that, but just know that I can say these things, and if you do have an opinion of your own, please leave it in the comment below if you disagree with me. If you agree with me, regardless, I would love to talk about it with you guys, but this is something that is pretty important to me when it comes to 76. Okay, enough talking there, let's go into the Atomic Shop. Alright. So last week we had some pretty cool stuff. I made a video about it. Was it last week or the week before that we got that kind of what do you call it? The little Heroes Home thing. That was a good week. I did like that a lot. But as you can see on your screen right now, this is going to be my big issue. This, along with everything that you're seeing on your screen right now, is stuff that we have seen long before and many times before. I mean, hell, I even own a couple of these things, the Garage and the Red Rocket Paint. Actually, the Garage was the very first prefab that I ever bought in this game. So that's saying something. This is going on back in 2019 when I bought this game. So what, 4 years ago, maybe a little bit less, I bought this Red Rocket thing, and it's still circulating here in the shop, and we see this Red Rocket stuff all the time. I mean, I made videos recently, fairly recently, in the past couple months, talking about the Red Rocket robot helmet. My friend Monkey loves to wear that. I've made videos about the Red Rocket paint for the, what do you call it? The dragon. It's just all of this stuff has been in the Atomic Shop tenfold. 10 times over we have seen these things. The only thing I'm surprised that we're not seeing, let me double check to make sure, is the Red Rocket Ranger Power Armor skin, that all red one. I see that all the time. But the point that I'm trying to make here, along with some of the other things that you see here, is that the Atomic Shop, in my opinion, just doesn't really represent what a shop should look like for a Fallout game. All right. I'm going to leave that part there, and I'm going to get into my notes, and we're going to kind of get to the bottom of why I think like this, and we're going to get to the bottom of why other people might have the same opinion. Oh, geez, I got to slow down the camera speed there. Okay, so at the top of my thing, I have written here why. Why I'm making a video like this? Why do I have these opinions? And let me share it with you the best that I can. I pay every month for Fallout First, and it's what? Like $15, $16 now, and with that you get the survival tent, you get a couple other things here and there, but mainly you get, what is it, 1,600 atoms, 2,000 atoms, something like that. It's definitely over 1,000. But I'm basically paying every month to have atoms to spend in the Atomic Shop. And if I'm doing that, I want to make sure that the things in the Atomic Shop are representing what I think is cool, what I think the 76 stuff should be. But it's kind of moved past the threshold where it's like, well, maybe I'm just being a little too picky, and it's coming to an era where it's like every week we're either having the same things repackaged into bundles or discounted or mix and mashed into other bundles, or, well, yeah, it's just the same stuff over and over again. Unlike other games, we tend to only see new things around update season, and we get repeats and discounts on the same stuff, which I just said, aside from the occasional kind of once in a blue moon, hope you like that joke, a little inside joke, new item that pops out. Like, I remember like the coffee machine last season was kind of like a 1 week thing where that was the big thing, and like the Slocum Joes, but it's a thing where like every once in a while we will get new things, and the rest of that time is just spent on repackaging and rediscounting and remashing all of these old items. So let me go through why I think these items really aren't the best. Okay, number one, in my opinion, the items are too childish, too modern, or too wacky to be incorporated into the kind of base idea of what a Fallout world should be. Okay, let me give you some examples of stuff around my camp that might even fall into that list, and I just kind of have it here because whatever. Let's see. If I could just point something out. Well, I mean, that's going to be the difficult thing because, you know, my camp, I kind of have it a special way. But yeah, like, okay, I'm not going to find something right here because, I mean, that would kind of defeat the whole purpose of this video if I had stuff like that in my camp. But an example I can think of is the Slocum Joe's donut stack. Like, why? Why? I get the Lady Janet soft serve thing that we had a long time ago where it was the prefab, the ice cream cone. But, like, the Slocum Joe's, like, donut stack, like, it just, the building looked ridiculous. And I'm going to preface this by saying this is my opinion. I understand people have different things, but it just looked ridiculous. And it just did not fit into the Fallout world. That's the kind of thing, that kind of prefab is the kind of thing you want to save for, like, a Slocum Joe's headquarters location in the story. Because it looks interesting, it looks cool, but it's just too weird to have in a camp. And listen, that might not have been the best example, but the number one example that I can always think of is the Wavy Willards BS water park thing. That thing. That's when stuff started going downhill, is when they released that water slide. Okay, I'm going to leave that point there. These prefabs, which are honestly like the big kind of new things that they add to the Atomic Shop, are usually these prefabs are released. But again, in my opinion, I'll be saying my opinion a lot, they're too big, or they're too kind of out of fashion for where players have their camp, or just the West Virginia world as a whole, that it kind of forces players to shoehorn it into their camp if they've bought it, or build/buy a new camp. And that's the thing with me, is like sometimes things come into the Atomic Shop, like the, what do you call it? That massive T-Rex that they added that I did the video, like, oh, this is a Dinko or Dinky from New Vegas reference. It's a cool thing, but I only bought it really for the video and the fact that it was got a New Vegas reference. I just kind of want to have it in my, for lack of a better term, building storage box of things that I could possibly build in the future. But it was way too big to kind of put into a camp. Like, I'm not going to have my Fort Ulysses, which is like a Civil War styled camp, with a T-Rex there. And again, I understand that I could build something else, and people have all different kinds of things they want their camps to be. But that's just my opinion. All right, next up. And this is going to be something that is very, very close and dear to my heart, along with a couple of my friends on 76 have also kind of shared the same sentiment. They need to add more camp slots. They need to add more camp slots. There's literally no point to just having 5. If you can only have 1 camp up at a time, why aren't you just offering unlimited camp slots? It's not going to do anything. You can only have 1 camp up at a time. Just give us like 7, 10, a million camp slots. It literally wouldn't matter, and it would make people build more camps, buy your garbage in the Atomic Shop, and build them in their new camps because they have more space to do it. And number 2, it's just more money for you guys to earn. More people that are spending atoms on things that are actually useful, like another camp slot. And it's what? It's been, I want to say at the very least, a year that we've had these 5 camp slots things. Why not increase it? It makes no sense. You're adding all these updates with all this new stuff, and you're still putting a limit on the camps thing. You got to increase that. If you're going to increase the stuff that is, or the content of the game, you got to increase the camp stuff. That's just my opinion, though. Okay. Before we move on to the community grievances, this is going to be the crux of this video. This is something that I have thought about, and I'm assuming that other people, even in Bethesda, have thought about in the past, and it dumbfounds me as to why they don't do this, because this would literally save not even just the Atomic Shop, but in my opinion, the game. This would be a game changer for 76. Make in-game assets available in the Atomic Shop. What do I mean by that? Let's go to the location that I have right next to my game. And trust me, this is not me preparing in advance and going to find something. I'm going to walk over to this location and find something that I would genuinely like to have in my camp that you would not suspect. Really? I'm in the middle of something here and you got to do this? Come on. Freaking ghouls. Okay. Let's peruse around Slocum Joe's here. Let's see what we can find. These wood crates right here would look awesome in my camp. You know, that could be for armaments, ammo, maybe just regular storage. Those would look great in a camp just for taking up space, stuff like that. You guys know with a lot of my camps, I use the ammo crates. That's something that I would 100% spend atoms on in the Atomic Shop to buy because it's realistic and it would kind of add depth and meaning to a camp. Let's move on. The cigarette machine there. Like stuff like this, the outside AC unit, that would be useful too. A lot of times with camps, there's not a lot going on like the outside walls. This, once again, adds more depth and stuff like that. Cigarette machine in the cooler, we do have things like this, the trash can, the dumpsters, all that stuff. But like these boxes, look how here it's adding more realism and depth to this building. It's looking like it was, you know, it's been abandoned for 25 years. It's crazy. But that's just Slocum Joe's. You know, this piping stuff we wouldn't be able to get. I understand all that. Maybe if you hop on the roof here, we could find a couple more things. Like, I'm just trying to think like small toolboxes, like maybe an ammo box to put down just for show, stuff like that. Maybe even this little thing to add on top of a building. Like, who knows? Those things, in my opinion, would mean a lot. Let me go to one more place and see if we can find a couple more things that I'm kind of talking about here. Let's go to Sutton. Let's go to some actual homes in the world and see what they have. Because the thing here is just like, when it's coming to camps, at least in my opinion, in the builders community of this game, you want to make it look at least somewhat realistic, like it fits into where you're building. And I feel like with a lot of these, the stuff at the Atomic Shop, it just doesn't make it look like that. It just doesn't make it look like that whatsoever. So let's see, like the tire pile here. Like they added the wasteland debris in the Atomic Shop recently, and that was nice. Something like this that could add more depth, like the bushes right here. What I do at my camps is I put the bushes around here to make it look overgrown and stuff like that, make it look a little bit more real. Let's hop into the church here. I bet they'll have some little object that I would 100% spend 100 atoms on just to place down or something like that. But let's see what we can find in here. There's got to be something if I can evade these scorched. Good thing I got cold shoulder. We do have bathtubs. We do have bathtub stuff like that. But like, I don't even know. Maybe like things like these, like tin pitchers or glasses or cups or plates. Just something to make your kitchen look better. Or maybe like a toilet paper roll to add to your bathroom or something like that. You guys get the point of what I'm trying to say, but it's the little things. The little things that already exist in the game that they could just get the coding for, reskin, do whatever, like they did with the desk or the desk fan and the typewriter, and just repackage it and make it for sale. What is going on? I thought I went into camera mode. My bad, folks. But that is the point I'm trying to make there. Why not use in-game assets and just flip them and sell them to us? Yeah, sure, it might be a little bit of a scummy business practice because these things already exist and it means it's literally like no effort for you guys to translate these into the shop, but it just baffles me as to why they don't do this. Okay, enough of me talking. It's been way too long. Let's talk about what you guys are thinking. Okay. So there's only 10 comments on here. I wish there were a couple more, but that's okay. Maybe we can do a part 2 to this, and you guys can leave your comments in the description below. But the first comment, as I find a new place, is from Martin Rooney, 5525, and he said, more story content, lads. Well, Martin, unfortunately, that is not exactly what I was going for this video, but I do agree. And thankfully, come December 5th, the Atlantic City update is going to be coming out for Fallout 76, and that is something that we can definitely look forward to. And hey, maybe we'll have some new Atomic Shop stuff like I'm talking about in this video come that time. All right, BXBX Productions. Some of the newer stuff acts weird during camp builds. Planters, for example, can't plant crap in them. Well, there you go. And this is something that I have seen a lot in the Atomic Shop. The most recent example that comes to mind is that the large bird nest kind of display thing that they added recently. I remember watching DTD and Uranium's video saying that you'd put the eggs in there and they'd be like floating and doing all these wacky things. The treehouse prefab that came out a while ago, there was a bug when you were walking up the stairs, it would just completely stop you. Those things, I will say, those are just bugs. You know, they're oversights. People can't really help those. But there are some things like planters. If you can't really plant anything in them, what's the purpose of them? Why aren't they fixed? I don't know. That bothers me. Thanks for that, B&B. Tailor-Made Wasteland, good friend of the channel, said, not enough stuff comes in that actually fits with the game. Why don't we get lore-friendly junk, scrappy stuff? There are so many assets already in game they could give us. That's my 2 cents, Nav. And Taylor, that's why I love you, brother. Great minds think alike, and that is exactly the point. And Taylor, if you guys don't know, I'm looking on his channel right here on my phone. Taylor is, oh, I got some video playing, jeez. But Taylor is another Fallout 76 creator, so he is just as invested into this game as I am, maybe even more so than the average player, so trust me. I'm not crazy, we're not crazy. These are things that are coming from actual Fallout devoted fans. So Bethesda, please listen to us. Okay, Taylor, thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. Let's see what else we have here. I kind of scrolled down a little bit. Whoa, here we go. We're back. All right. Craig Steinhoff said, well, I enjoy the store. Lots of cool stuff. And Craig, I do agree. Typically, I do enjoy the store. It's fun to go in there and look for things maybe you don't have. But it's past the point where it's acceptable. I'm really sick of seeing all this repackaged and discounted stuff. I do appreciate your comment, Craig, but I respectfully somewhat have to disagree. I appreciate it, though. Brian713 says, we keep getting skins for the same weapons while there are many weapons that have few or no skins. This is something that is almost equally as important as my whole crux of the argument reusing assets thing, because he is correct. There are weapons in this game that have yet to even have a skin. Primarily, and I've made a video about it, and I know it's coming in the future, but the, what do you call it? The scrap box. The scrap box, a thing that has been in the game since nearly day one, not nearly, but you guys know what I mean, still does not have a skin, even though there have been items that are similar to it that have been released, like the ammo storage box, which now has 3 different skins, if not more. My memory is not serving me right, so yes. But I'm trying to think of any examples of weapons. I really can't right now. If you guys can think of examples of a weapon in this game that does not have a skin yet, please let me know in the comments below. We can kind of discuss it. But yeah, that is something that really needs to kind of be taken care of. That should really be kind of step 1 for Bethesda. Okay, we have items in the game that have different skins. Let's make sure that everything has a skin before moving on and making new skins for other weapons. It just doesn't follow logically with me. It's not really a good business plan. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Wolf Jarl Gerbane 5771 says, I do not know about store, but the last score was short in my book. I can usually miss a day or two, but would like to get missed items instead. And they have a reply saying it's the store, it's getting out of hand, they can come up with better stuff and prices. Okay. Well, Wolf Jarl, I do have to admit that I can't really answer to what you said. I'm not really sure if it really applies to what we're talking about here, but I do appreciate your comment. But the reply he did get from Stick Ninja does follow along with what I'm saying. So to both of you, thank you very much. User PI2CM1GB2I says Atomic Shop is aging with the game. They need to cut back on prices. Bethesda thought Starfield was going to be the next big thing again, and it wasn't. I mean, a lot of people are playing it, but trust me, it's nothing really. I don't know. That's a story for another day with Starfield. But user PI2, thank you for your comment. And Martin Rooney, actually, I believe he commented again. He said, could be worse, could be Red Dead 2 Online fans. And my guy, I thank my lucky Adams that this is not Red Dead 2 Online, because, man, I would be making a hell of a lot more videos like this and most likely committing crimes at the, Rockstar Games head office. Because, man, that's the biggest plunder in video game history, literally. All right, and then Glowstick finishes off the comments here by saying, give him hell. Well, Glowstick, I hope that I did. So, guys, that's going to be the end of this kind of grievances with the Atomic Shop video. I'm not exactly sure what I'll title this. I know that it was long, but this is something that is very important to me. And I will say this. One of, if not the number 1, 2 reason that I continually come back to this game is because of the Atomic Shop and because of the cosmetic items as a whole. Listen, I finished the story in this game years ago. I finished every single quest, mission, anything you could possibly think of that will earn you a reward eons ago. So the only thing keeping me and a lot of other 76 veterans afloat and interested in the game is new stuff that comes to the Atomic Shop. But for people like me, Fallout veterans, I don't want this wacky BS. It's getting out of hand. And I will always be haunted by that water park. I know people like it. I hate it. And I apologize for any, hate or vitriol coming from this video, but this is something that I'm spending my hard-earned money on every single month for going on 3 years now. I'm embarrassed to reveal the amount, if I knew it, that I have spent on this game. So I want to make sure that the things I'm buying are tailored to what I want. And given the comments in this video, it doesn't seem like I'm being too choosy here. It seems like even a small minority of you might be agreeing with me on this topic. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. And if for some reason somebody from Bethesda were to see this, this next part is for you. Listen, Fallout 76, in my opinion, is the greatest game to have ever been created next to Fallout New Vegas. There are a multitude of reasons for that I could get into in a different video, but I want to give you props for making this game. However, if you want us to continue giving you money every month and to continue to support you, you need to listen to what we want. And that doesn't even just apply to the Atomic Shop. That applies to a hell of a lot of other things. Hell, go back through my backlog of videos and go find the multitude of things that I have kind of accosted you guys for. But to keep it short, I respect you for what you're doing. I respect you for what you've given us, not even just with Fallout, but all of your other franchises. But you need to listen to what we're saying. You got a Discord, for God's sakes, which in my opinion is a little bit of a cesspool, but you should at least listen to the opinions of the players, because at the end of the day, it'll make you a crap ton of money. Literally. Okay, I'm leaving it there, folks. Like I always say, my name is Navigator. Have a nice day, and take care.